Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
My experience at camp as a kid, and I was in 6th grade. This is in Missouri. I went to a Methodist church camp, and it was my first experience away from home, and it was a church camp, of course, and I loved it. I loved the games, I loved the swimming, and just like the camp that we have, I enjoyed everything, and like the kids, I was into the girl thing and all that kind of stuff like the other boys that are today, but there's one thing I really remember about this camp, and that was a couple of counselors sharing with me Christ and sharing the gospel, which I hadn't heard before, but it really stuck with me through all the years. I left the camp not making any decisions or anything, but I never forgot that. It was a seed planted.
My first camping experience was as a camper, just going into 8th grade. Been saved probably 2 or 3 years, but all spring before this camping experience, there was a sense of some sort of want to do ministry, that I was supposed to do ministry, but I had no interest at all. The invitation by the camp pastor was real generic in terms of if there's something going on in your life you need to deal with. He dismissed all of us, went outside. This was in Michigan Baptist Assembly ground. And we were just supposed to deal with it. So we went out and prayed about it. And I know it's not true, but I swear the stars spelled yes. We came back and broke up into breakout sessions 2 or 3 days, as camp continued. There were 2 or 3 other guys that shared that same experience. One of those guys continues to be a pastor back in Michigan. I don't know about the other guy, but that was my first camping experience.
But starting around 6th grade, my camping experiences just kind of took off, and I loved just engaging with and meeting new people, and the counselors were fun, and we weren't run so much on a schedule where we're this. We actually got time to make and build relationships, and my favorite part about camp is just being able to, the people you meet and you have in Christ in common, and the counselors are fun, and they're all motivated and full of energy.
Got to go help clean up. My dad was a part of the Lutherized Men's Association and First Baptist Church Association, and my mom was ABW, American Women's Association, and we would sign up to go to Camp George Weiss and clean up several weekends before camping started. Cleaning out cabins, making sure the gravel walkways were smooth and clean for people to walk through, cleaning up the areas where there was vespers, because that was always around the lake, poison ivy, type things like that. But that was one of the things that I always got to do before camping started. So you prepare for camping before camping starts.
I was a counselor, camp pastor, and camp director. Probably the best thing that I remember about those experiences was always the campfire, the moving of the spirit, just powerful decisions made. It was not only kids from Baptist churches, but a lot of the kids came from like Trumbull Neighborhood Center, Dayton Christian Center. It's kind of like Bethany here. Those kids weren't used to church life. They weren't used to, the warm fuzzies kind of stuff. Before the end of the camp, though, those were the kids that were most affected and were moved by just the love that was shown them.
I think that knowing what an impact camp had on my life as a teenager, I just remember, I still think about those times when God impacted me, because you're separate from the world for a little bit. You get to come away from the world and experience, just become more aware of God's presence. And so just being able to let kids see that, man, God is real, and when you take a step back from the world for a little bit and you're able to become more aware of His presence. It's amazing.
Well, I went with Ken, and now with Jason, it's been about the same number of years, and it's just the experience that it is with these kids. It's the first time some of these kids have heard that gospel message. Most of them are church kids, but I've seen through the 20 years, I've seen so many decisions, so many kids come to Christ, and the difference it's made in their lives and everything.
Once you experience that camp in your life, you want to share it with others so they can experience God on that level, because I think there's something about being removed where you can pay attention to God in a way that you can't when you're at home. That it's just, wow, God is here, and I'm amazed. And I've heard campers say over and over again, God is in this camp, He's here. And it's like, no, you're just more aware of Him here because you're drawn out.
Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.